Hi, this is Florence DeCosta from Melbourne. It's been a long time since I spoke on any topic, and now I've decided to speak on the Our Father, the Lord's Prayer, the prayer that Jesus Christ taught us. So we begin. It says, Our Father who art in heaven. So Jesus didn't say, introduce God, his Father, and say, call him my Father. He said, let us call him our Father. And that's a great privilege. And he is in heaven. So uh, he's making it aware that God is in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Now we know that God is telling us, Jesus is telling us that God, his Father, is being glorified and praised and worshipped in heaven. And so we need to do the same thing on earth with our lives. So thy kingdom come. So the kingdom, spiritual kingdom that he has in heaven, he is asking us to welcome God's kingdom here on earth so that we also can be like them in heaven, worshipping, praising, giving glory by our lives and conduct. Thy will be done. So on earth as it is in heaven. Now, he is also revealing to us that God's will is being done in heaven. And he wants us to be like his children on earth and to live according to and do the right things in life and to fulfill God's will on earth. Now, how will we know that we are doing God's will? We will know that we are doing God's will when we decide to do something and it is good and holy, and we are happy about something that we are doing. So we know when we are happy to do something, it is God in us that's giving us that happiness and joy, and He is leading us along that path. So it is important for us to do God's will, live according to His commandments. And as it is in heaven, so we need to live like those who have already been victorious and gone to heaven, because they did God's holy will, and they did reap the benefit, and God rewarded them his kingdom in heaven. The next is, give us this day our daily bread. Now we need to have food and drink, and everything else that is important for us to live. We need money, we need a job, so that we can live a honest life on this earth, doing God's holy will. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So we're asking God to forgive us our sins and our trespasses against Him, against our neighbor, against ourselves, and against the whole world. And to forgive us the way we forgive God, ourselves, our neighbor, and the whole world. So we need to forgive totally and completely for those who hurt and wound us. And in like manner, God will forgive us totally and completely. And lead us not into temptation. So many of us don't like the idea of being tempted, but God allows us to be tempted by Satan to prove to him that we are his children, and that when we refuse sin and walk away from temptation, that means that we love God above everything else. But we need God's grace to be able to walk away from sin and to be able to say no to sin, even if it's the smallest of sins. It is important for us to pray and ask God to give us the grace so that we can walk away from sin and win over temptation. For thine is the glory, the kingdom, and the power, now and forever. So with God and His grace, we can live as children of God on earth as they are living in heaven. So thank you and God bless.